Namaskar. What happened on June 2nd, 2022 in the case of Karthik Gopinath? Karthik Gopinath, as you all know, was denied bail on the 1st, and he was asked to go to the Sessions Court where the judge heard the arguments. M.R. Venkatesh, a regular on our channel, did some spirited arguing, and after listening to his argument, the judge decided that Karthik need not be given police custody. So Karthik Gopinath continues to be in judicial custody, which we think is good. And I'll come to why this is important at the end of this talk. So please stay tuned. Now, I want to share with you a quick overview of the number of mistakes the Tamil Nadu police has done. I can only say that they should hang their heads in shame as far as such an unprofessional conduct that they have conducted. Even more interestingly, now I believe many of these things will be brought in front of the judge. I expect that he will be given bail and that Karthik will be out anytime, next couple of days. Depends upon when he gets the time slot to be heard. So this is the good news. So let's take a quick look at why Karthik is now in judicial custody. Here we go. So this is the HRCE Rulebook, and they have prepared the FIR using the rule book here and the rule 5A, where it kind of tells you what are the do's and don'ts, and it accuses here that a private individual cannot raise money for reconstruction. And if he does do that, he needs to first of all get the permission of the TNHRCE, and then he needs to hand over the money to TNHRCE so they can swallow. They have left out that part. This is my conjecture. So this is the reason why they are arresting Karthik Gopinath. But how this came about is an interesting story in itself. So let's take a quick look at that. So that's one. So there is another point of view that Sri T.R. Ramesh has put out, saying that in the same HRCE department, the HRCE department has a rule book. They also have a policy note. And in this policy note, item number 43, I'm going to try and see if I can make it even bigger. You can see it. It says here, and I'm going to read it. It is a common practice for donors to voluntarily carry out temple conservation, renovation, and restoration with their funds under the guidance and supervision of the department. In addition, there is an online portal created for the donors to make donations. Now, what T.R. Ramesh ji is saying in this tweet of his that came out, I think today, he says that this whole thing is a bogus case because of this. So they are not looking at this, they are looking at something that is convenient. And even there, no money has been stolen. So how do you justify this? So I'm going to show you the sections of the FIR under which he has been charged. But to come to that, before that, I want to show you some glaring mistakes in the way the police has gone about. You normally have investigate and then arrest. But in case of Karthik Gopinath, the reverse happened. And I'll tell you how. So on the 21st of May, the AC, the Assistant Commissioner of Avadi, sent a letter to Karthik Gopinath, says on the basis of a complaint by Piyush, P-I-Y-U-S. That's how I see it, but I think it is P-I-Y-U-S-H, Piyush. His name is Piyush Manush, I think. And this person has a very interesting background. And based on that complaint, he sends a letter to Karthik Gopinath. This is all a setup, I tell you. This is all a complete setup to defame Karthik Gopinath because he is piloting or he is promoting Sanatana Dharma, Hindutva, a nationalistic feeling, and he is young and he has got a huge following, over 200,000 subscribers on his YouTube channel called 𝙒𝙧𝙤𝙪 Bharatam. So the police send a letter and then they ask him to appear on the 25th. Now, Karthik was traveling, so he couldn't make it. So what he did was he sent his lawyers along with all the information they asked for on the 26th. Then he went and appeared in person on 27th and to answer all the questions that the Assistant Commissioner, Mr. Kanda Kumar, may have. Now, after this, the Assistant Commissioner found that the complaint was motivated. So he was going to completely close the investigation. Motivated interests. I don't have to tell you who they are. Found out, oh my God, our guy is going to close this investigation. What has the world come to? We want Karthik Gopinath behind bars, especially since he is a law student, final year. His exams are coming up from the 20th. He said, wouldn't it be nice if the guy spends his time in jail and can't take his exams? If it was somebody else, special provision will be made so that he can take his exams in the jail, but not for a poor Sanatani, an idealistic person like Karthik Gopinath. But I'm hoping that this whole case will be quashed in the next few days, and it should be based on the facts that we are presenting. Okay, so what happens? On the 29th, something very, very interesting happens. The police can move with amazing alacrity. By the way, the vandals who desecrated all these murtis, and there were 4 attempts to do it. October 6th, October 7th, November 7th, and I don't remember the next one. I think November 8th. 4 days, the murtis were all broken up and basically shattered. You can go and take a look at Siruvachur, Siruvachur. So this is done in an area which is known for conversion, aggressive conversion, okay? And the amount of work, destruction that was wrought upon could not have been done by one individual. After the first hit on October 6th and October 7th, you know what the police did? They found somebody, they caught hold of somebody and said, this is the person who did it. Oh, by the way, he's mentally unstable. Even if you ask him a question, whatever answer he says, oh, this is mentally unstable. But the amount of destruction, it is plain for anyone to see that this would have taken many more than one person. So, till now, amazingly quick Tamil Nadu police, which will actually work on a Sunday, has still not caught the real miscreants. Till today, it's close to a year now. October 6th and 7th, so now it is June. So 9 months, whatever. Okay, they still haven't caught them. These people are walking in plain sight. We don't know who they are, so I can't say this. But the truth is that this is a track record of the Tamil Nadu police. When they want to, they can be amazingly quick, lightning speed. Light would say, oh my goodness, the Tamil Nadu police is going faster than me. Einstein is going to scratch his head. Oh, I didn't know that anything could move faster than the speed of light. Oh, yet I've been proved wrong. Tamil Nadu police moves faster than the speed of light. Amazing. Anyway, so what happens? On the 29th of May, the administration receives a or cause. This means a judicial term. What it means is that there is definite cause for the involvement or the grounds for arresting Karthik. And this is a complaint from the EO of the Siruvachur temple. By the way, till today, the Tamil Nadu HRCE department has not produced when the EO or the executive officer was ever appointed to this temple. They don't have records. Essentially, the so-called EO of this temple doesn't have any standing. He cannot be writing all these complaints. This is a private temple for all practical purposes. Nothing is all they do. Plus, they will try to see what money they can steal from here and there, and then use that to, build houses or buy cars. This is exactly what HRCE is up to. Full of crooks, I tell you. Anyway, so what happened? So this EO on a Sunday around 10 a.m., he says that the permission to do any enhancements is hereby denied. Okay, so they want to now, I can see how this investigating officer, Mr. 𝙒𝙖𝙧, I have some interesting stories about this guy, is thinking. Now, what he has got is, okay, now I have probable cause for arresting. And he also knows the original complainant, Piyush Manush, is a motivated complaint because the AC has said, look, this guy has a history sheet of being a fake. So now they want to shore up. If they put Piyush as the complainant, perhaps they thought maybe the case will collapse. Therefore, let us get the EO himself to say that the permission is being denied. This letter has not been given to Karthik yet. So as far as Karthik is concerned, he has applied for permission to reconstruct on the 29th of December, and till date, he has not been heard from. The money he has collected is sitting in Milap. It's a crowdsourcing site. Not a single pie has been touched. 1 lakh advance payment was given to the Sthapati so that he can start rebuilding the murtis. It takes several months to do this. So that's all there is. This is all documented. Okay, now This is where it gets really interesting. So 29th, they start writing the FIR. So what is supposed to happen? Very, very interesting thing happened here. On May 30th, Jayachandran communicates the FIR to the magistrate in Ambattur, who is supposed to decide whether Karthik Gopinath should be remanded to custody. Wait a minute. Has the FIR been given to Karthik? 3 p.m. on the 30th. But you know when he was arrested? 5:30 a.m. on the 30th. 5:30 a.m. And you know how he was arrested? Somebody comes, knocks on the door, and Karthik's father opens the door, and there is a policeman standing there. And he says, "Sir, we need Karthik Gopinath to come and sign some documents on the police station." 5:30 a.m. Why can't he come at 10 a.m.? They should have guessed that this was something wrong. They should have created, anyway, they didn't do that. Karthik complied. And what happens after that? Karthik complies. And what happens? He's whisked away. And for the next 4.5, 5 hours, nobody knows where he is. Were these policemen? Or were these people wearing police uniforms? Was he kidnapped or arrested? So if he is arrested, he should be taken to the local police station, Avadi. He's not there. For 4.5 hours, all these policemen did was put him in a jeep, and they're just going round and round and round and round the city. So the same thing happened in the case of 𝙒𝙧𝙤𝙪. 1:30 a.m. he was picked up. By the way, there's another aside that I will say at the right time about 𝙒𝙧𝙤𝙪's case. That shall wait for another day. But it's the same thing they were trying to do. Don't tell anyone where he's going, because they were thinking that if he shows up here, maybe there might be some crowd collecting. They know they're doing something wrong. See, that is the point here. They know they are doing something wrong. Okay, so what did the FIR charge Karthik Gopinath under? Sections 406 and 420 and IT Communication Act 66D. Now, 406 and 420, legal experts tell me, are mutually exclusive. Only one can be charged. At least the judge should have understood, pointed that out and had FIR strike off right then and there that this cannot be possible. The third one, 66D. 66D is for impersonation. Karthik never impersonated. He always was Karthik Gopinath in all his YouTube hangouts. So the sections themselves are not valid. There is no money cheated. 420 cannot apply here. If you want to know why 406, 420 and 66D don't apply, do watch my hangout with Sri T.R. Ramesh, where he deals with this at length. So let's move on now. Next, what happens? This is an interesting aside. You think the TN, HR and CE department is actually working for the betterment of temples? They are busy repeating Mr. Udayanithi Stalin's tweets. And this family takes every opportunity to diss Hindus. What kind of nonsense is happening here? Anyway, now what is going to happen is Karthik will be asking for bail in a sessions court in Trivellore, and let us hope that this judge does go through the merits and demerits of the case and gives him bail. And very soon, this whole FIR will be quashed. This court cannot quash the FIR. It has to be done in a high court. So we have to first get bail for Karthik Gopinath. And please, 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 viewers, do like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Don't forget to click on the bell button for notifications. And if you think this was useful, please show us your appreciation by clicking on the Super Friend button. Thank you very much. Namaskar.